Okay, everyone. We are 14 days away from Christmas. So get ready. We love this season and we're so grateful to have you joining us tonight for our Tidings of Comfort and Joy. So what we want to do is help you really have a comfortable, cozy, and joyful Christmas season, and we have some hints to help you do that. So let us start out with this. This is something that we are so passionate about. And we're so glad you're here because one of our goals is to help you be empowered so that you can take care of yourself. And by coming on to these types of things where we get to share ideas about what works best for us, you can be more empowered to be able to have a wonderful holiday season with you yourself and your loved ones. So we're excited to be able to share some of these ideas and excited to be able to have you come out of this half an hour, 45 minutes that we're together, knowing that you can have an even more fantastic Christmas season. So we're going to start. I'm going to pass it off to Crystal. She is going to go over some comforting ways in
Yes,
our comfort and joy.
yes, we gotta get cozy, friends. So, one way to get cozy is setting the tone in your home. So, oils, they really help us to actually create an ambiance. They evoke different emotions. And so, when we use essential oils to help in our gatherings or even just in our personal solo time, it can help you to move into what you need to move into, move through what you need to move through, or celebrate and be even more festive. So these are more of the comforting oil blends for this winter season. Huga, it's just our cozy
Oh
oil
man,
year round.
it's the best.
It's just, it really, the meaning of it is like comfy cozy in Danish. So we'll kind of dive into the meaning of it in just a second. And then holiday peace, this is like we're walking into the forest in like the mountains of Utah and getting this crisp breath of fresh air with that piney smell. So, but you have it in your own home in Florida. That's what I love about
Yep.
using the oils like that. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and focus in on specific intentions. So, whenever we're using the oils throughout the holidays, it can help you to be able to feel like, all right, I'm going to have this focus be more at the forefront. So, as I'm reading through and you're reading through, see if there's a specific word that really catches your attention. If it's not here in this holiday piece, and if you're not really feeling like the piney smell, then maybe one of the other smells like hygge or holiday joy might have your word, have your intention, have your aroma that you're trying to set. So another thing is if you want to be able to make your own holiday piece blend, these three oils here up at the top, the grapefruit, Douglas fir, and Siberian fir, are the blends, are the oils that you can put together to make it have that smell of the mountains. So, but especially those fir oils. So let's dive into this. And as we're going through again, just think if you hear a word or see a word that really catches your heart or your intention for this time frame, go ahead and write that down. And we're going to do something with that in a little bit. So, okay, holiday peace. It captures the natural wintertime state of dormancy, which allows vital time for energy conservation and introspection. The peaceful aroma of this blend invites individuals to surrender to the stillness of the season and allows time to search out the deeper meaning behind their experiences. So, I was actually just talking to a patient today about this idea of winter and how it's such a good time to slow down, maybe even go into stillness. For her, stillness was just like that didn't have peace associated with it. Slower felt peaceful. So just know what feels better for you. Can you go into that like hibernation mode like a little like a bear? Or can is it more just like all right, I can slow it down, simplify. So if those are words that resonate with you, go ahead and write that down. And then from here, let's see if that wasn't what resonated, maybe some hygge. So this one, it just feels like a warm blanket with like a warm drink
Mm.
and like a foot massage in the middle of it all. It
It
just feels so enjoyable
If
and
you
comforting.
smell it, it like goes through you and like it's like when you drink hot chocolate and it's starting to go down your throat and warm up all of you. That's what Huga smells like to me. It's like it just fills me up. I love it.
Yes. And this is one that doTERRA still has in stock. Some of the other holiday blends they have run out, but this one they've still got it. So now let's go ahead and see if there's an intention, a word that can be resonating with your intention for this holiday season. So, okay, let's read through it. So, Hygge Blend was formulated to capture the Danish practice of immersing oneself in simple comforts and cultivating contented awareness. It invites individuals to slow the pace of their thoughts and activities and be more mindful in the present moment. It inspires gratitude for little delights and increases capacity for humble bliss. It invites them to create a warm, welcoming atmosphere where they can genuinely connect with those they care about and share in each other's joy. This blend also helps one to experience sanctuary within. So, this is why, when I was saying before, like it could be setting the tone for your whole room, your whole household, or for your gatherings, or if it's just your own little reflection time. Oftentimes, at the end of the year, maybe even after the holidays, we like to reflect on how was the year and then kind of forecasting what we're hoping for in the year to come. So that an oil like this, having a place of sanctuary, that might feel really comforting. So, going along with this idea of comfort, we wanted for you again to have your cozy oil because we're going to do what's called the aroma touch hand technique. So, it's basically like a hand massage. So, go ahead and raise your dominant hand. If you're a lefty or if you're a righty, raise your hand. This is the hand that's doing most of the giving in your life right now. So we're going to give it some extra attention, let it have some receiving time because this whole season's about giving and receiving. So you can do both hands, of course. We're just going to, because it's about 5 minutes long, we're just going to do one right now and then we can put it in the chat if you want to do the other hand tonight or another time or share that with a loved one. There is a part with the hand technique where they're showing like using two thumbs to like work on another person's hand. Don't worry, one thumb is enough. You can go on one side and then work on the other side. What this is doing is it's helping with any sort of tension or achiness that you've got in your hands, as well as circulation. A lot of times, again, it's colder season. We can feel chilly in our hands, so we want to really help the circulation be stronger there. So we're going to go ahead and press play here, and you'll want your oil right on hand. Okay, let's go for the video. Okay, let me know. Can you see? I think we'll have to stop the share and then I'll need to share
Yeah,
the other screen. Okay. All right. Anyone seeing this? Thumbs up, Mom. You're the one I can see right now. Can you see
Yes.
me change? Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Jessica, for saying yes. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and press play. If you have any trouble, please pause us. Please say, hey, can't hear it, can't see it. That way we want to make sure you get the chance to see it.
So you're just going to follow along with the video
Mhm.
and it'll show you exactly how to do this.
So I won't be even saying anything. They'll be saying it.
Ready?
Enjoy.
Here we go. Get your oil.
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
Okay. Thank you for saying that. Okay.
You
Can you
can't hear.
hear our voice? Okay, it
Yes,
says
I
that.
can hear your voice.
Okay.
Hold on, I
Thank
have
you
to
for that.
switch this
That's
really
right.
the
We
audio.
had this before when we were doing Zumba and yoga.
Mhm.
Thank you, Corey. That was very helpful.
Let's see. Um,
There is music in the background, so yeah, there should be some sound that you were hearing. So good.
okay, let me
Thank
try this
you.
again.
Yes, no. Hear the music?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Putting your foil on your hand, and you're doing your Side of the palm. The top part of the palm. Okay. So just one on up. You're on your next. Yep. Few times. Next, we go the index. Need a little more oil, add it in if you like. I'm going to do some. Move on to the middle fingers. The ring finger. Side going into the middle, into the pinky side of the palm. Okay, I'm gonna repeat on, yeah, yeah. Unless you're like, okay, I really am feeling the need there. And then we'll have it playing at the very end as well. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come back to our other screen here.
Can I just say,
Go ahead.
um, you might offer this as a little present to someone else in your family or friends. People always love to receive health. And this is a great way to be able to offer some health and peace giving and healing. Even if you're maybe just even watching a Christmas video or whatever you're doing, gathered together, just say, "Hey, give me your hand. I'm gonna massage your hand for you," or just do it without them even knowing. Just put some oil on it and start working on their hand. It's just a really nice way to share some love.
Who's feeling a difference hand to hand?
Yeah.
Feel like I got a workout on one and a pampered session on another. You too, Corey.
So if you're offering this and you're going to do it for someone else, make sure that you do it first and they can do it second on your hand.
Good point. Yes. So, and oftentimes we start to feel like, okay, some of that stiffness starts to feel like, oh, I got a little bit more flexibility, mobility, and again, that circulation. Anyone feel some warmth in that hand that they just worked on? I sure do. So awesome. Okay. So now we're switching gears. We've done some comfort, and we might need to bring some comfort to that other hand after, but now onto some joy. So, joy, this blend here it really feels like Christmas joy in a bottle. So, I'll show you what's in it. So, Cassia Siberian First, it's a little bit similar to that holiday piece, but the Cassia, it's a form of cinnamon, but it's a deeper tone of cinnamon, whereas cinnamon typically has kind of a sharper aroma. Cassia's got more of that warmth, warmer vibes to it. And then you blend it with wild orange. Now you've got wassail diffusing in your house. So,
And the Siberian fir too.
yes, yeah. That together all gives that same feeling. So, what we're gonna do is we'll go through. Sorry, I do need a little bit of water.
While she's getting a drink of water, we actually, if you got a little ornament in the mail from us, this is what's on that ornament is the holiday joy. So if you have that around, you can even take a little sniff and see exactly what we're talking about. It's that awesome, wassaily, homey. This is like Christmas in a little bottle. It just smells so awesome.
Very Christmassy.
Makes you feel so homey.
So if you don't have holiday joy, you can make your own version of it with those three oils. That's actually a version of it. So let's go ahead. We'll go through some of the feelings that can be evoked with this oil. And then again, draw out and see, is there a word that's drawing your heart where you're like, this is the intention I want to have for the holidays? Okay, so holiday joy invites people to come together and experience the warmth and comfort of positive relationships. It fosters feelings of joy, celebration, and excitement. Sorry, I got
Emotional about this.
Yeah, so at some point I got excited and then too much air went in. So, holiday joy also teaches the importance of boundaries and healthy relationships. This is especially true for those who may overgive. It teaches that personal energy conservation and balance giving combined with a nurtured sense of self lead to the healthiest relationships and most joyful holiday celebrations. So this can show up in the sense of like, if we have all of these gatherings that we keep hearing about, and we're like, okay, yeah, I'll go and I'll do and I'll show up. And then we leave feeling so depleted, or we're like, I have another thing, and just feeling like we're getting more and more drained. So that is even a form of overgiving. And so just knowing, all right, when are my yeses, when are my nos, so that I can show up in a joyful place, in a healthy place for ourselves, and to really have deeper connections with those that we're going and connecting with. So from here, we're going to go ahead and give you a second to, if you have your ornament, you can write it down, maybe on the part that is not as strong aroma wise. And that way it can just help you remember this holiday season. That's the emotion that you want to focus on. So
yeah, right. Choose the emotion or the intention that you want to have, and you can write it on the front. And try not to do it with like, by the way, with like a marker, because it might actually conflict with the scent. Try to do it with a pen or maybe a colored pencil or something like that. That way you don't end up having that Sharpie overdo
the smell.
Yeah.
So let's go back real quick. So centered connection is an option for a word, sanctuary is another, and contemplation. All of these are really great options to have through this Christmas season. Okay, so from here, if you've had a moment to at least consider what your intention is, now I want you to also think of that loved one who you're like, I just don't know what to get them this holiday season. I think we all have that where we're like, I've gotten all these other people taken care of for gifts that feel really good. But there's that one person that it's like, I just don't know what they would need. So we love this wellness pyramid. You guys have seen it on our calls because it's really something that helps us to understand ourselves and what targeted solutions we can have for our needs. We can do that for our loved ones as well. So if let's go through a few examples. So let's say we've got a friend who they're like, man, I really want to actually be healthy and I want to eat better this holiday season. Or they're like, I just want to at least at the end of Christmas, I know I've overindulged. I want to feel healthier, or I want to like digest all of this food better. Then these are some good options in that green row there. So the VMG, that's your vitamins, minerals, and greens. So that's going to really help with the digestion. Of course, the probiotic too. I love, especially of these, is the beadlets, those peppermint beadlets. I use that for myself, for my kids all the time. And it just helps also with my sinuses, but especially for the digestion. And Digestin, Digestin takes care of any digestive things. So those are some potential stocking stuffer ideas if you've got a friend who's really focused in on just eating better and feeling better digestively. If you have a loved one who's like, man, I've just been feeling really achy, it's winter time, I'm kind of dealing with some aches and pains, or they want to start getting more active, the options there, Deep Blue or the collagen, those can be really good where you can just put a couple little collagens in a stocking and you can spread that out for a few different friends. Or the beadlets, if they're like, I still want to maybe move into the weight loss side even while I'm doing the holidays or help my sugar cravings. That's what I love the MediPower beadlets for, is to have that in my purse whenever we're at a party, a Christmas party. And I do like every now and then when I see the sugar cookies, I'm like, those do look good. Pop a beadlet. Because it does help me to feel like, okay, I can move on. It looks good. Move on. Have fun with the people instead. So then for if you know that you've got a loved one who's just dealing with a stressful time, then something like adaptive can help them to feel a little bit more energized, a little bit more calm and centered within themselves. That's a great oil, actually morning or evening. The Serenity is more for people if they're dealing with sleep issues. So I can't tell you, I don't know what's going on, but we've got a lot of patients who are just not able to sleep
A
these days.
lot. And it doesn't usually happen during Christmas
Yeah.
or anytime. It's been like the last month. We've seen a lot of patients that are struggling with sleep. Just
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
So just douse them with Serenity, put it in their stocking stuffer, and
If you see your friends with dark circles under their eyes, send them this.
and you can like sing to them, sleep in heavenly peace, something like that. So, last one is if they're dealing with immune issues, because again, we got a lot of cold and flu going on. So, On Guards there, they do have those as beadlets. Again, I prefer that in my purse because if On Guard's opening up in my purse, it's no fun. Everything is covered with something that can be a little bit too tingly on the hands. But the beadlets, they are really nice and encapsulated. So that just boosts the immune system. The VMG, again, that's going to help for more of the immunity, but also the detox side. Same with frankincense, helpful for both sides. The Revitazen, that's that green bottle there, that's more specific to detoxifying. We're going to do a lot more detox after Christmas. We don't want you to be hung up on that right now. We want you to really feel like you can celebrate, have joy, and share joy. So, gift of health, right? If you are wanting to be able to be reminded of these different options, that QR will pull up at least a few of these, and then you can change the cart to be able to say, all right, I'd like to add that in, I'd like to remove that. Have have fun. Have fun with your stocking stuffers. All right, now we're going to go ahead and shift gears.
All right. Another
this season.
another joy, right? So this is the joy that we love to share the most. Um, Whenever we think about obviously Christmas time, it's Christ-centered. This is the reason that we are here and the reason that we love to celebrate this season and to remember it and try to remember it throughout the year. But we are so grateful to be able to share that joy with you. And when we think about why we give gifts like stocking stuffers or whatever, we really think about these three people. Well, we don't know if it was three. It could have been more, but there were three gifts that were given to Christ. And tonight we want to talk about two of those. Um, One is not in or the third's not in an oil form, so we can't talk about gold oil. But we're going to talk about myrrh and frankincense and talk about their uses anciently and then also what they can be used for in our current day, which is really cool. So, myrrh, the first recorded use of myrrh was 3,000 years BC, which is really, that's a long time ago, guys. That's 5,000 years ago. Um, it was used in Egypt and it was used for several things. Um, it was actually used for purifying and for cleaning things. And actually, if you look at how they used it medicinally. So they used it for things like cleaning sores, um, uh, healing skin. They also used it for headaches and backaches, which is really cool. But it was used, 5,000 years ago for these because they didn't have medications. This was their medicine. They used oils, they used herbs to help get themselves healthy again. But it was also used for anointing kings and priests. Um, so it had a spiritual application. It was seen as a higher application. And actually, myrrh, there were seven oils. They're considered seven sacred oils. And myrrh is one of those seven sacred oils that the Egyptians used. Now, let's fast forward to our time. And the cool thing is, we found there are some of the same applications that they've used, and then we've actually learned that there are even more applications that it can be used for. So they used it anciently for skin and wound healing. So look at the things that can help: eczema, um, dry skin, wounds, fungal and viral infections, gum disease, and sore throats. Again, these are infections, right? But it's also can be used with helping with depression. And also, if you need to help get yourself in a more centered area when you're doing your prayer or meditation, this can be used as something that you could diffuse and help you get to an even more centered place. So, myrrh is such a beautiful gift. Um, and we're so grateful that it can be brought to our attention, especially at this time of the year, and help us remember that what a gift the plants and the creations that God made, what a gift they can be for us in this season and throughout the whole year. The next thing we're going to talk about is the king of oils, which is frankincense. And frankincense is again one of the seven sacred oils that the Egyptians used. Now, this was used in Egypt, but also it was used in Jerusalem. When they were preparing burnt offerings, they would use frankincense to help prepare that offering. When they would pray, they would burn incense, which was full of frankincense. And the idea was that this frankincense would help raise their prayers to deity, to God. Um, so there was a deep spiritual purpose, but also it's interesting that frankincense specifically, it this herb was and oil was considered as divine and pure. It represented divinity and purity, and so it's very telling that the three kings would bring this gift to Christ, that they would know that this was a pure vessel from God, and I love that they had such foresight and knowledge and thought. Not only that, but they probably uh, this was a huge sacrifice for them. These were not inexpensive. Even now, I mean, frankincense is one of the more expensive oils, but it is back then, in order to obtain frankincense or myrrh, it was extremely rare, extremely valuable, and extremely helpful in helping with these people, not only health, but also their spiritual connection with God. So, what a blessing that we have this in our day to be able to use every single day. So, modern uses, what can we use this for? Frankincense has been shown to be very helpful with nerve and brain health. So think if you are neurodivergent or know people who are neurodivergent, people who are dealing with Alzheimer's. I will tell you, I used this on my grandfather when he was in his late 80s, early 90s. He was having memory issues and dealing with mid to late stage Alzheimer's. And I would massage this into his scalp, and it was actually just something that I was like curious if it would actually do something. But I would massage this into his scalp, and we did it as a family every day. And this was about 3 years before he passed away, and it was remarkable to see how his affect changed and how his ability to converse with us changed. His stream of consciousness became a lot more clear, which was really cool to see just by doing this for it was a month, and we started to see changes just in that time. So brain and nerve health, really, really helpful. Skin and scars. This is such an incredible oil. If you get stitches or you have some type of removal that you need on your skin or something like that, or even if you just scrape up your shin and you're like, oh man, that's going to leave a bad mark, you can put frankincense on your skin. And the cool thing is, they've done studies on this to show that frankincense inhibits the scar tissue, the collagen that makes up the scar tissue that makes your skin uneven. So it'll actually cause your skin to not have a blemish at all, which is really, really cool. So frankincense, if you ever have a bad scar or sorry, not a bad scar, but a bad skin or a cut or something like that, they're like, oh, I don't want that to scar up. You can use frankincense daily topically right over that scar or right over that wound. So coughing and lungs. This is great for helping to open up your airways and calm down any type of lung issues that you're having. But anxiety and focus can also be a benefit of using frankincense. And this has to do with the brain and nerve health that we were talking about earlier. It helps to enhance your ability to think clearly, to focus, and to also keep your brain healthy and active. And so as a result, will help with your anxiety and focus. So, um, one thing that we love about doTERRA is in Christmas time in December, they love to draw people's attention towards Christ. And as a result, they offer frankincense as a free gift, a 15 bottle, this is the big bottle, guys, the normal size bottle
Yeah,
of, yeah,
versus
it's a
that.
big one. Um, of frankincense. They offer it for free if you do a 200 PV order. So even if you've already done an order this month, if you do an addition to that order to get it to 200 PV, they'll still give it to you, which is really, really cool. So we always, actually, we make sure that we always do a 200 PV order so we get our frankincense in December. It's a really great gift. And it's an incredible thing that you can use not just this month, but throughout the whole year. So this is, yeah, just something that we love. And again, we love using these oils throughout in December and throughout the year because it reminds us of Christ and it reminds us of his coming to this earth. And so during this season of comfort and joy, we hope that you will prepare some room in your heart so that you can connect further with him. And we want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and hope that this is just a wonderful season for you of contemplation, one of centering, of connecting, not just with your loved ones, but with your God. And we're so grateful to have you here and love to be able to answer any questions that you have. So we're going to stop the share now. Hang on if I can.